Let's see. Hello. I think we're live, and this happens every time. It's Facebook's new live stream, and I can't even see myself. Anyway, let's see what happens here. Let's have a look actually and see if this is working. Bear with me, everybody. I'm happy to see you. I hope you can join this incredible live, because it's really going to help you to understand what your shadows are, why you need to integrate them, and also what benefits you will have or you will get in your life by integrating them and in your business. And as you know, I'm just going to check here if I'm live. Yes, I am live. Look, I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to go for it. Okay, Jenny Lyon here. I am your fearless light leader. I'm a healer. I love helping you to become the rooted leader that you were born to be. The reason I'm so passionate about this topic is because I truly believe that the spiritual entrepreneurial women around the globe are the women who is going to take the lead for the next step of evolution, of society, of consciousness, of transforming the matrix how we know it. So it's so important as women that we bring in all aspects of who we are, bring in all of our superpowers, bringing all of our wisdom and knowledge. And the only way to do that, obviously, is to reawaken those and to be in deep contact with those, because they are inherent. We have them. It's not like a special categories for certain women. We all have these within us. And look, I'm trying to work out here what's happening with the live. If you can see me, let me know. Oh yeah, it's working. I think it's working. Anyway, if you can see me, just send me an emoji. Okay, Nora, I can see that you can see me. Thank you, darling. Yes, people can see us. Okay, good. It was like freezing. So anyway, so where was I? So what we're going to talk today about is, first of all, what the shadows are, because I think you might have heard of it. I mean, in Jungian therapy, and this is what he was very big on, and yes, he was very right. Also in shamanism, the shadows are like the true source to our power. So although it is maybe not so popular in the West with shadow work and with shamanism, it's very much the key to your fully unlocking your whole soul, your whole soul purpose. So we're going to talk about what the shadows are, and then we're going to talk about why you need to integrate the shadows to fully come online with your soul business. And when I say soul business, I say this a lot, but what I mean is where you're bringing your purpose into your business, whether that is a creative or a healer or a facilitator or a consultant. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You're bringing your soul quality into your life, into your business, and that is how you are going to make a change, right? So we need to own and integrate our shadows. Thirdly, what will happen with your life and your development if you don't embrace them and integrate them? That's a very, very important part of this training today. And why the shadow work give you access to your superpowers. And then lastly, why do we need our superpowers? Well, we need our superpowers to change the state of this planet, right? Like I said in the beginning. So you're going to discover all these things today, and I'm really, really excited. So first of all, let me tell you a story, actually, because I started out completely disempowered. I never thought I was able to do powerful healing. I didn't think that people even would want to pay me for that. So these were just like beliefs, right? So as I was going through my own journey, I was realizing that every time I hit a roadblock, I realized that that was my shadow. You know, there's something in there that is stopping me from moving forward. The shadows in ourselves are the parts of ourselves that we do not want to recognize, the parts of ourselves that we are ashamed of, or the parts of ourselves that we want to hide, the parts of ourselves that we feel ashamed of, right? So that's your shadow. So that could be anything from being angry, right? I mean, anger is like, for women, an angry woman, everyone's been told if you're angry, you're not being a good girl, you're not being, you're not behaving well, you are not being, very attractive when you're angry, right? So what happens is that the first part of a woman's life, you will spend your life trying to repress. I'm just talking about anger for the moment. There's so many other shadows, but you are then starting to repress your anger. And what happens is, as you grow, that suppressed anger within your system can become like a depression, or it can become something else that plays out because it has had no outlet, and you don't want to look at the anger because you've been told that it's a bad thing to have, so then you're trying to repress it. And then when it does come up, you feel bad because you feel like you're a bad girl or a bad woman or a inappropriate behavior, right? So that was just one example. Obviously there's so many examples. I'm going to run a few examples with you, actually. So for example, women, I'm going to talk a little bit about shadows that could be typical for women, because I feel it's really important that we, kind of, there's obviously, they're going to have lots of different shadows, but one shadow, for example, is to be controlling, right? So we could start adapting a behavior of being controlling towards others, and it's like a part, we don't really like it about ourselves, and it's a part of us feeling that we don't really want to admit that we are controlling. So the invitation really with control, for example, okay, so the invitation with anger is to let it out. So pillow beating, anything to shake it out of your body, shouting, screaming, those things to release the anger. I mean, this is not a how-to video today really, but I'm just kind of giving you some examples. With the controlling, again, when you realize that you are controlling, you feel bad because that's kind of like, it's not good. It hasn't been, it's not a good thing to be controlling over other people. You're not giving them, space to expand. So when we start recognizing that we are controlling, the first step is obviously to say, yes, I am controlling. You are admitting that you are controlling. And then obviously the second step is to look at the behavior. You look at that shadow and you say, okay, I am doing this, but why am I doing this? And you want to dismantle that, right? So that's like another shadow. For women also, I feel that You know, we could be a bit nagging at everybody. I'm just talking from my own experience. You know, when I feel dissatisfied about something, I will then nag, and I then become this miserable nag, right? And that's a shadow. Again, it's an invitation to look at, why am I nagging? What is it I'm not happy about here? Is there another part of me that is not being, you know, expressive here? Is there something missing for me? There's something, a need I have not met in myself. Is that why I'm nagging? So the idea is to do the shadow work, so that you say, okay, I am nagging. And then what happens is, when you realize that yes, you are, and this is the reason behind it, what part of you is unfulfilled, that makes you want to nag. Yeah, because it comes from a space of, you know, that comes from a space of wanting to just put something on someone else, really, right? And then when we embrace this and open ourselves up to all of who we are, it relaxes the whole body and mind. You know, it relaxes your whole being, it relaxes your behavior, it relaxes your energy, it relaxes all of it. The shamans I do a lot of shamanic work with my clients, because I believe that the shadow work is so important. The shamans believe that all your power that you have in all of your soul consciousness is in your shadows. And what I've discovered as well is that the more you so if somebody hasn't developed enough self-love, so hasn't been enough room for you as a woman to like bloom and love and hold yourself in whatever way that is, it's harder to look at the shadow. So I always recommend a lot of self-care and boundaries and love for yourself and complete self-recognition of what you need before the shadow work, because that will kind of feel easier then. So that's kind of the best flow of it. Another thing I wanted to say with this is as well is that, so we're racing in consciousness, we are here to change the planet, fearless women coming into their full power, doing, you know, getting into their whole full soul consciousness. We're here to to lead with the divine feminine and become the rooted leaders only through not only through, but you know, through the shadow work, and then bring that energy into our businesses and bring it in a way that we are as authentic as we can possibly be. Because when we're authentic and we show all of ourselves, whether that is you're showing your shadows or you recognizing your shadows and you are saying yes to all of yourself, you're then allowing your authentic energy to just come up, because there is no shame, there is no guilt, there is no worry what other people should think, there is no sort of conditioning. You can't, if you decide to break through that and say, even if it's really, really, really scary, I am not going to care what other people think. I'm going to just show up as my true self, how I want it, you know, how I feel that I should show up, regardless of what other people think. And that is in expression as well. It's not just through looking at the shadow and then integrating it. It's expressing how you feel about things, where you stand, what you stand for, right? And being truthful. I mean, the amount of throat blockages that I find in my clients and in myself, you know, I've cleared also very much, but it's it's so important to speak up and to make your voice heard. So important. So that's kind of the second, well, why you should own them in your soul business. Because what happens is when you start owning all of who you are and you're showing up unapologetically, you will then become an energetic match with your soul clients. And if you're trying to hide certain parts of yourself that I don't know, maybe you may feel ashamed, or maybe you feel like you shouldn't be that way, or maybe you shouldn't be so outspoken, or maybe you shouldn't maybe you shouldn't be so outspoken, maybe you shouldn't show all of yourself, then you're holding back of your message. You have a message, right? So then you're holding back. I mean, most of my downloads and things that I get and quotes and things that I believe in that I want to share, it comes when I'm super relaxed, when I don't care what other people think. You know, I'm just feeling I'm in a creative mode. I don't really, it just comes through. And this is what I want you to do, you know, as a running a soul business. I want you to come through authentically, and this is what we are going to also install in you if you decide to join my 3-month group program. And to be honest, I install this in all my clients, whether I work with them in groups or whether I work with them individually. But this is an element that I'm very passionate about, because if we're not bringing through all of who we are, then we are not being authentic and we are not going to get the results that we want. So the shadow work is very important. Now, the third thing I wanted to say, what will happen if you don't embrace it? All right, you're not going to die, but you probably will stay in the position that you're in for longer than you want to be there. So it will cause more frustration, and probably it will cause you feeling more like a failure because you're not embracing all the aspects of yourself. And then by still keep hiding certain elements of you and certain aspects of yourself and keep them small and not recognizing them, you won't be a 100% energetic match to the clients that you are going to meet. So I think also vulnerability is so important to show up with, because every single person running a soul business would have hit different roadblocks of issues that they, find hard to overcome. So personally, my first one was empowerment. That was the first massive flag, thinking that I couldn't, that I couldn't do it. I wasn't good enough to do it. The second one was like visibility, where I felt almost ashamed to show up, so scared of what people would think of me. And then the third one that was flagging as I was just moving through was poverty mindset. Although I hadn't felt like I was in poverty, it was the one that like flagged up next. And then the fourth thing that was flagging up as I've been moving through was like impact leadership, right? So it doesn't mean it's all finished, but I'm just saying how the journey could be for you. It wouldn't necessarily be in that order. So at the moment, another layer of like massive boundaries are coming up for me, and you probably can see it in my posts, because this is another thing, whatever is coming up through me that I'm shifting, that I'm moving through, that I'm passionate about, will be not just healing for you guys, but it's healing for myself. It's healing for all of the women, right? So that's another thing. So to recognize your shadows and your flaws, you're not just helping yourself, you will be helping those people as well by showing up and saying, this is what's flagging for me right now, right? And then, I mean, everyone's journeys are not exactly the same. Then what I've realized is that as I move through my creativity and allowing the divine flow and the divine coming through me, it will automatically push on those shadows that are not integrated yet. And then I go and resolve those, or I have some coaching or mentoring or healing, some sort of work, or I do some work on myself as well. So that's the, you know, and that, so as you go with this, it gets easier. And yeah, it's important. It's very important if you really want to have the impact, and if you want to be successful, right? I was speaking to one of my clients yesterday, and we just had like a catch up, and she's working through her worthiness and poverty, you know, flags at the moment, and we were just discussing this. But basically, I was just saying they're coming up so that you can own them and go, yeah, this is how I feel about myself. Is there something wrong with me? No, there is nothing wrong with you, because this is the thing. There's nothing wrong with any of us. It's just, we just need to admit it and go, shit, this is crap, you know, this is coming up in my life, I don't want this. And say, yeah, okay, well, it's my life, I've got to sort it out. It's my business, and the only one who's going to show up and the only one who's going to fix this is me. And I'm going to take the help that I need, whether that is that you invest in a program, for example, the program that I'm starting on Monday, or if there's another program, whatever you decide to invest in, it's going to be helping you to change all of those things. But it's got to feel right for you, right? But the key is to go full in. And another thing I have realized is that once you've decided that it's going to happen for you, you will then find the right solutions. You will go ahead in, you will go full in, you will make the changes, you will take the action steps, you will move forward in the way that the soul wants. But it's about deciding as well. Yeah, deciding what it is you want, right? So as long as you know what you want, the universe will send you all the steps. Now, why do you get access to your superpowers when you heal your shadows? Okay, so when you heal your shadows, or integrate your shadows, it means that you say yes to all of yourself. It's almost like, I love all parts of myself. I love the crazy part of myself. I love the mischievous side of myself. I love the angry side of myself. I love the bossy side of myself. I love the giving and unconditional love side of myself. I love all of myself. So the more you say, yes, I am this way, and yes, I am very happy to integrate the shadow, because the shadows are not about suppressing them and pushing them down. It's integrating them into the polarity of it. So, for example, anger, the polarity to anger, I suppose, is surrender, or just, you know, allowing, instead of, because anger is like pushing, you know, it's a pushing emotion of, you know, dumping something off, you know, like outwards, while it's like allowing, it's more just like opening up the space and say, yes, I'm surrendering to what's happening right now. So it's not about, you're not removing the anger and say, oh, I can't be angry. You can still be angry, let the emotion move, and then feel more refreshed and say, okay, I have now let the anger out of my system, and I can allow more of shifts, you know, to happen in my life. So the superpowers, so your psychic, so this is another thing, your psychic superpowers, and I was talking to you guys about this last week, your psychic superpowers are your key to your success, to also manifest what the heck you want. Yeah, so they are there to help you to manifest the soul business that you want, the clients, the money, the impact, the visibility, all of that. Because when I say the superpowers, it's obviously your intuition, your female magic that you hold, your ability to travel timelines, your ability to be multidimensional, and obviously it does apply to men as well. Men also have access to all that is, of course, they have access to the Merkaba, they have access to the source. So, but I'm talking to you as a woman. So yeah, so owning all of that and be happy with everything that you are. Like, allow yourself pleasure in your life. You know, allow yourself to be lazy, allow yourself to, love yourself more, massage yourself. I tell some of my clients to massage their breasts because they're so stiff. I'm like, right, your homework is to get the best oil that you can find, and I want you to massage your breasts. I want you to connect with your femininity. I want you to give yourself just, it's not even, it's just sensuality really, but want to give yourself pleasure and love and softness. And whether you want to bring that any further, yeah, go ahead, right? But so it's the pleasure and the receiving and the allowing to being all of that who you are that is going to give you the success that you want. Yeah. And I'm not a money oracle coach or anything like that, but when it comes to your impact and visibility and your abundance, your wealth, your growth and everything, money is a big part of it. And you want to attract a ton of money into your business. And the money story is another thing, but again, it's about you deciding what it is you want, what it is you want in your life, whether that is X amount in your bank account, whether it's a new relationship, whether it's your a new dream home, or a better body and health, whatever it is. It's about you raising your voice, deciding what it is you want, and then take some action steps towards that. So that's it for today, I think. So we were talking about the shadows. We were talking about what the shadows are. We've been talking about why you need to embrace them and be all of yourself in your soul business, because if you hide parts of yourself, you're not showing up unapologetically, and then it won't be an energetic match to your clients. Thirdly, what will happen if you don't own them is the progress will be slow, and you will be frustrated and you'll be upset, and you may feel like a failure because you're not progressing in the way you want. And why would they give you access to your superpowers? Because when you are unapologetically showing up for who you are, all of who you are basically opening up the space to super consciousness, to like super flow, because you are not hiding anything. You are being truthful to your whole energy system of who you are, and you're being decisive, and you're opening up to whatever you decide that you want to have in your life, what you've decided. So, and your psychic superpowers, again, that could be a shadow to not owning your superpowers and your intuition, because you've been told, in not just in this lifetime, also in past lifetimes, that it's bad to be psychic, or you're a witch if you're psychic, or you it's weird to have this, whatever. Your parents might have said, oh no, but that's not real, that's just in your fantasy, etc. So again, it's about you owning fully own yourself, and show up as that. And that's it. So my invitation to you is there is another, what's today, Tuesday, so on Sunday the doors closes to the Unlock Your Soul Work Impact Millions, which is my group mentorship program. And if you want to jump into the early bird, you can sign up. You can either just shoot me a message. I would like to speak to you, so there is no sales page, as in like there is no payment link, because I need to know that you're fit for the program. And yeah, that's it. Just shoot me a message and jump in for this next group, and I'll see you on Monday then. But it's when it starts on the 8th. All right, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are, and I'll see you very soon. Hope you enjoyed it, and what your best takeaways are, let me know as well, and see how you found it. All right, guys, see you soon.